Hello, today we're looking at how to handle authentication in Next.js app using Prisma for the database, JOSE for JSON web tokens, and building Next.js server side. Of course, we'll use Mark.js server. This setup secure function login system using cookies for sessions. Don't worry, we'll break it down step by step. First, we have two helper function, encrypt and decrypt. So I need here helper function. This is our two helper function. So they use the JOSE library to create and verify tokens. This is our JOSE library. So I will import. This is other JOSE class.import from JOSE library. I begin by encrypt. Decrypt here, its function takes some data like user ID, expiration time, and some other data. You can use it. Function takes some data and creates a signed JSON web token using this algorithm. While decrypt, it's does the opposite. Of course, it's verify the token and return the original data if it is valid. Of course, if it is valid. Think of encrypt as locking data in a sealed envelope and decrypt as opening and verifying login functions. Login function, it's handle sign-in. We use Prisma in login function. This is our login function. I begin here. I'm using Zod for verification our form, and the login schema to create template for my login, which is contain email and password. And this is Prisma, our ORM. So I will talk about Prisma here, which is look up the user by email in the database, and if a user is found and the password matches, usually by checking hashed password, like this comparison. I compare between our user's password and the password that come from the form. So then the credentials are valid. We call encrypt after the credential is valid. This encrypt to generate a JWT containing the user ID and expiration time. We send that token back as a cookie in the HTTP response. This is our cookie. We should import our cookie. So after that, now the user is login. On future request, their browser will include the cookie so the server know who they are. Now, logout function. The logout function, of course, it's straightforward. When a user wants to sign out, go back, we simply destroy the session. On the server, this means deleting or expiring the cookie that holds the JWT, which is the JSON web token. Once the session cookie is gone, so this is our function. It's simply we destroy the cookie. So when the session cookie is gone, the user is effectively logged out. Now, get session function to figure out, which is important, of course, to figure out who the current user is on a request. This is our get functions session or get session function. This function reads the cookie from the incoming request. If a session cookie is found, it calls decrypt to verify and parse the token. If the token is valid, get session return the user data inside it. If not, it returns none. Of course, you can provide any other message. Finally, update session, which is function that can be refreshed an active session. This is our update function. So I will import this from next server, and this also from next server. Of course, I use Next.js here. So, what it is matter this function, of course, it grabs the current token from the cookie, decrypt it to get the payload, and then set a new cookie with a fresh expiration. This keeps the session active without forcing the user to log in again. So, all together, this is how typical secure login system works. Prisma check credential. In the database, Jose handles signing and verifying the tokens, and cookies store the small encrypted session token. This keeps the login process safe and lets our server recognize the user on every request. That way, only the right users stay logged in. Thanks and goodbye.